Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast by us, the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we are discussing Season 5, Episode 8, titled Hardhome. It was written by D&D, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, and directed by Miguel Sapochnik. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? It is always a pleasure to be here, especially a pleasure today.
Oh, a special privilege, this one. This is one that, you know, from the beginning of the show, whenever we decided we're going to commit to this, week after week, Game of Thrones episode after Game of Thrones episode, there are a few of those standouts.
Oh, yeah.
There are a few of those episodes where you go, fuck, I cannot wait to get there. And we're back to one of them. It's been a while since we've had one of these. You know, Season 4, it's kind of like, the end of Season 4 is kind of like just banger after banger after banger there with Mountain versus the Viper and, you know, the battle at the wall and all that. But we, you know, so far in Season 5, I wouldn't argue there's been one of those where you're like, you gotta be there, you know? This
is true. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, trying to think of like one, like a singular episode that's up to this one.
That I like as much, yeah.
Yeah, that comes before it. It's like the Red Wedding is up there.
I don't like that, though.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, not fun. This one's way better. Check in with way more people. And you also get just, oh my god.
It's better than Blackwater.
Yeah. Way better than Blackwater. That's only at King's Landing as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is like kind of split down the middle. You have like 30 minutes everywhere else. 30 minutes.
Yeah, like it, and they don't. I love that choice to not break it up. Once we get there, we are there the rest of the time, and it allows that tension to build, that sort of eeriness that whenever they're loading people onto the boats, before anything happens, there's no music. It's just like the murmurings of the crowd. You hear like, "Yep, get on, go ahead." Go ahead. I'll be there soon. I have to get the old people on. You know, like all that. Oh man, just a expertly done episode of television, but we've got a lot to talk about regardless. That's just the end here. We've got a few locations prior to that. So if you're down, I'm ready to take us on in here.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's the thing, is that everything else is also great other than
and important.
So yeah, so this is
there's moments that come before this that I was like, that happens in Hardhome?
Yeah.
You know, like we got the first oysters, clams, and cockles during Hardhome.
This is true.
Tyrion says you can't have him by your side at Hardhome? Bro.
You know, I don't know if I want to serve you yet, Daenerys. You know, I don't know if you've earned me yet. Oh, fuck.
Hard.
Home. Dude, yeah, this just hard all around.
Hardhome, yes, hard.
God, love it.
But yeah, if you are prepared, we shall start in Meereen, wherein the throne room, Daenerys ponders on what to do with Tyrion and Jorah. And immediately, we've got Peter Dinklage and Emilia Clarke acting off each other for the first time in long form. You know, we got the little interaction at the end of last episode, but now they are having scenes together where they are the ones talking. And these are two of the best performers in the entire fucking series. So you know it's a goddamn pleasure. You know, she asks Tyrion, why shouldn't I kill you? You know, the Lannisters remain an enemy to my house. And he's like, well, killed my mom the day I was born. Killed my dad with a bolt through the heart. I'm the greatest Lannister killer alive.
So I'll let you in because you've killed people of your own family. And Tyrion's like, okay, fair enough. I'm dealing with someone that's a little more intellectual than I normally deal with here.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Someone who's a little bit, at the very minimum, critically thinking.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
Just he's a different wavelength. He's like it's like slowly going up. It's like he's kind of like testing almost. He's like, is she really this person that she's made up to be? And it's like, yeah, nope. Every time he's been kind of answered.
He's like, okay.
It just keeps up and up, up and up and up. Yeah,
because he even she kind of wins him over during this interaction. It's not even like it takes time where he's like, I don't know, I need to see you in action. Like by the end of this conversation, he's like, she's kind of dope, and that's really cool. But Daenerys, isn't convinced that this is a satisfactory answer for someone's good reputation, and Tyrion counters by wondering aloud if she is worth his service. And
damn.
Ordered to tell her. Yeah.
Quickly reminds him, if you want to go back to the fighting pits, you're go free. Right ahead.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know, maybe that changed Tyrion's mind right then and there. He's like, you know what? I actually don't really have much of a
There's
choice.
not a position of power I'm coming from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's ordered to tell her why he has come to her from the other end of the world. He explains how he once heard the story of a girl born in the biggest storm the world has ever known. With no family ties, she has moved from one place to the other, seemingly hours ahead of her assassins. And she is sold off to a barbarian at the edge of the world, and that seemingly was the end of that. But this girl with no army, no dragons, no ships, or whatever, suddenly comes into all three. I thought you were at least meeting. That little boy. I was like, okay, that was cute.
Dude, hyped up Daenerys right there pretty well. Daenerys had to feel pretty good. Right there, and I think that's kind of why she was like, you know what? All right, this dude's all right. Let's see how you are.
I love the way Varys comes into play. She's like, Varys, Robert's spy master. He's like, yeah, I actually suspect that. That might have been later. Was that when they were drinking?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
I don't know when, but he's definitely brought up.
Yeah, he's like, I'd wager that the reason you're alive is because Varys made that happen. So that's a pretty cool little drop there too, Varys, we have seen, has had a hand in moving her around and getting her to the Dothraki and stuff, but it was really just a cool little reminder that Varys is very important,
He's tasked with spying on her and getting everything there is to know, but he also can delay that information or
the logic. He's like, the man who knows more than anything said that you are the last hope for people. So
because he maybe that is when they're drinking, but he's like, Varys is like the whole reason why Tyrion got his life back together. He was like, I thought there was nothing left, and Varys convinced me that you were worth fighting for, Daenerys. So I don't know. Tyrion is very he talked himself up, he talked Daenerys up, and he talked Varys.
And he has the logic on his side, man. He's a good advisor, and he proves it very quickly. She eventually agrees to spare his life. She goes, very well. What would you have me do with him? And turns her eyes to Jorah. And Emilia Clarke is fucking good.
Dude. Yeah.
And it's so subtle. There's not a lot she's doing, but what she's doing is overwhelmingly powerful. When she turns her attention, it's a little bit of a Lena Headey thing. Whenever she cocks the eyebrow up and she just kind of stares him down a little bit. But, what would you have me do with him? And all of a sudden, it's it is personal. She doesn't really know Tyrion. It's what the fuck am I here for? What should I do with you? And then she's like, but what should I do with this motherfucker? And you can feel the anger coming off of her.
Tyrion was trying his best to like give Jorah the best case.
Yeah, he was like,
scenario.
hey,
You know, like
he's a great dude.
Did he ever confess? You know, or like did he have the opportunity to confess? Many of times, yes, he did. You know, Daenerys like being like, yeah, he did.
Yeah. He could have told me, and he did not.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love Tyrion's reasoning. You know, I love the way that he's rode with Jorah for a little bit. He knows Jorah is a good dude. He knows his dad was a good dude. He knows that Jorah is an honorable man who made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And that mistake was costly. Like,
yeah, and him dropping, like, I'm pretty sure he's in love with you as well. Yep. You know, and Jorah being like, all right, well, I mean, I haven't ever said that out loud, but it's, you know, it's out there.
Do
now.
all that, bruh. Shit.
Yeah, it's out there now. Whatever.
Man, this is a good fucking scene, dude.
Nice.
This episode's kind of scene after scene after scene of good fucking scenes, man. Like, it
just kept building.
This might be one of the best episodes of the show, not just one of my favorites.
The whole show, dude. It's
yo.
Is that like
it is different. It is different.
I don't know how many episodes of the show that I've watched twice before recording. Like it's always just been one and then record. Like the Red Wedding, I didn't watch that twice.
No. You know, and like that's what's interesting is that most of the episodes that we consider the best of this show are also absolutely devastating. This is in that rare category where it is absolutely awesome and it's fun to watch. Like it's not just like, and there is a sadness to it. The ending, like, but you're not connected to them for sure.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of wildlings. It's just like. It's sad and it sucks, but it's like it's more of like a wait, this is what's going on. Like,
yeah. Like whenever Daenerys goes fucking apeshit at the end of the show, you're not like, "Aw, the people of King's Landing." You know, like it's you know, it's just kind of like that. You know, whenever in House of the Dragon, whenever was it Rhaenys bursts through the floor with her dragon and like a bunch of King's Landing civilians die, and they're like, that doesn't fucking matter. You know, like that's, you know, it's not necessarily sad. You know, so like that's kind of the justification I can give myself. But there is one character that is a little sad, you know, and they make that clear. Like they give her a story throughout this one little episode, and it's pretty strong.
Oh man,
it's really good, dude.
Man, they were building her up, and I'm like, man, she's like awesome. Where is she? And then I realized I'm like, oh,
no,
wait,
she has one of the most memorable deaths in the show for me because
oh my god, it's so bad. I was oh my god, yeah.
I love that moment, but we will get there. Nevertheless, he argues just as a queen should keep true to her oaths, she should not kill those devoted to her. A queen who kills those devoted to her does not inspire much devotion. Bar. And, agrees to exile Jorah. And we get probably in a episode full of beautiful imagery, probably the best shot of the episode when he's standing. You see like the Unsullied marking every inch of the path. And then him just standing in the lit up doorway. And it's like, oh, that's hard. That's fucking hard.
Dude. Yeah. Him getting, you know, you see just the huge statues in the background when he's leaving the city, you know, it's like
checks out the wrist.
You know, stops, contemplates, he's like, oh yeah, fuck. I forget, you know, might have forgot about that for a couple seconds. And then goes on. That's right. He does just go straight back to goes right back to the slaver, Yazan. Yeah. Doesn't really have anything else to do. He's like,
you said that if I won, I got to fight in the great pit for the queen. I won. I'm coming back. He's like, you could have gone anywhere. Why'd you come here? He's like, because I did. Let me fight. You know, if I win, hey, it's a win-win. It doesn't matter for you. Just let me fight. You know, and if I win, imagine how much money you can make for selling me.
Dude,
he's like, okay.
I mean, dude's a dying man. He's just going for anything right now.
He just wants to die in the comfort of Daenerys' company, you know?
Yeah. Man. Poor dude. Yeah, just getting banished twice. Damn.
Poor Jorah, man.
Yeah.
Fucked up bad. You know?
That's true.
It's nobody else's fault. You know, you can't go like,
he could have stopped.
well, it's not even his fault. No, like it's his fault. You know,
Yeah.
he did the thing.
Yeah.
That blows, but gotta feel bad for the guy. Probably the biggest simp in all of Game of Thrones.
Oh, I think it's without a doubt. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if there is. No.
It's Jorah.
I'm thinking maybe Sam for Gilly, but like that's more of just like.
And he also doesn't meet Gilly until like season 2 or 3. Like Jorah met her episode 1 of this show and has been fucking on that, you know, the entire fucking show. So
yeah, different. Yeah, big for sure. There's no doubt.
His entire life is devoted to her. You know, like that is, and Tyrion says as much. He's like, I've never seen someone devoted to something so steadfast.
They called him a simp without saying simp.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I've never seen anyone with this sort of devotion in my life. He's probably like, he must be in love with you. You know, like that whole thing. Like, I love it. But later on, Tyrion and Daenerys sit in her little room and have a talk about ambitions. When Tyrion mentions what a horrible father Tywin was, Daenerys admits that she no longer has any illusions about her own father. She knows the Mad King earned his name. And Tyrion goes, 2 terrible children of 2 terrible fathers. And Daenerys is like, you think I'm terrible? And he's like, I don't fucking know, man. I love the way that he's just kind of like, I don't know.
Sure, I've heard some. You've done some
pretty fucked up shit.
Like, what I've heard, it's you kind of do.
Another really important moment that you don't key in on the first time you watch it. You know, like it is this thing where Daenerys is always in the right, but on paper, the things she has done are ugly. They don't sound good. You know, like it's like
from the outside, you're hearing that, and you're like, "Oh, this person's on a conquest."
This person is dangerous.
Yeah, it's like there's really no other thought you have. It's like you're not like, "Oh, wow, look at them over there."
It's really only in her company that you would know she has good intentions.
Yeah, it's always seen as a threat. Otherwise, it's not like, "Oh, yeah, we're comfortable, we're chilling." You know, we don't have to worry about the 3 dragon lady. You know,
right?
That's, murdering half of some civilizations at some point, you know.
Man. But Daenerys continues the conversation. You know, she's a bit curious as to how Tyrion murdered his father, and why. And he's like, I will tell you one day, should you choose not to kill me. But on that day, we will need a lot more wine. After this, Daenerys decides Tyrion should remain on as her advisor, but confiscates the wine as a drunk is of no use to her. And he's like, Daenerys, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute. I don't know if
I don't think this is a fair trade. I don't think I want it.
Maybe I go back to the fighting pits. I don't know about this. This is not how I do things, Daenerys, okay?
I do my best thinking hammered.
I'm not going to be at my best.
It's what I do. I drink and I know things.
I love that. Like that's his immediate reaction. He's like, he doesn't know what to say. Like he's like, oh wait, but he's like,
no, Peter Dinklage was fucking wonderful there, dude. Like, and again, just getting to see these two act off each other. You know, we got like seasons worth of Peter Dinklage and Lena Headey, which was wonderful. And now to see him go across the world and go and get down with Emilia Clarke is like, goddamn, man, he's just acting his ass off with some of the best actresses in the show. But yeah, Tyrion nearly rolls his eyes at her desire for the Iron Throne. You know, he suggests that she might want to stay in Slaver's Bay. You know, like you're doing a lot of good here. You know, like have you considered that maybe this is where you are supposed to be? And she's like, oh yeah, I know, but I can control this anywhere. Essos isn't my home. And Tyrion's like, okay, who's going to support you when you get to Westeros? Daenerys says the common people will support her. And Tyrion's like, sure, let's assume that'll happen. You've seen what ruling with the support of the common people is like. Is that fun? That easy.
Yeah. And he's like, Stannis' whole claim is the illegitimacy of yours, and like it's like the claim, like, I don't know, it's not really a real thing, the claim to the throne. I guess Daenerys technically has, the best claim other than Jon.
Known. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's not really. I think it's kind of out the window at this point. It's just kind of like, all right, fuck it.
Whoever
whatever.
can seize the fucking throne is going
it's a power grab now. There's no system in place anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tyrion, he's like, how's it been for you out here? And he extends, the rich, the great masters. What's that been like? Do you think it'll be any different with the great houses in Westeros?
Mm.
And he notes that House Targaryen is gone. House Stark is effectively gone due to the combined actions of our two terrible fathers. Yeah. Neither House Lannister or Baratheon will ever support your claim. Tyrion says that this leaves House Tyrell, who might be willing to switch sides, but that is still not enough. And Daenerys stubbornly likens the great houses, including her own, to the spokes on a wheel, one on top of the other, and on and on and on, crushing the commoners beneath them in their struggle for supremacy. And Tyrion's like, yes, of course, stopping the wheel. It's a great ambition. It's been thought of.
No.
I don't want to stop the wheel. I'm going to break it.
Pretty hard. Almost the line.
I mean, this is one of her most famous lines in the show. I'm going to get a little nitpicky.
Okay.
I think it's a dope sentiment.
Oh, but the logic doesn't really make sense?
Corny as shit. It's the same thing as stopping the wheel. You can break... I understand that you're like, I'm coming over there and I'm tearing down the systems that be. That's stopping the wheel. I appreciate the, like, I'm breaking the wheel. It's like, yeah, you're getting it. But I think it's funny that Tyrion's not like, well, yeah. Of course. That's the same thing as I just said, basically. But
that's true. Yeah, I guess it's more of an emphasis thing.
No, yeah,
I think,
like it's
like the idea is still the same.
No, yeah, for sure. The logic side, the logic side of it, I'm like, I get nitpicky, but I do think that like just the delivery of the line and Daenerys as a character, it's dope.
Fair enough.
It's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, okay, you're gonna break the wheel, you're not just gonna stop it. I dig it.
My line, it caught me out of nowhere, and I don't know why. We'll get to it. It's at Hardhome that my line comes, and it's from unexpected. I think this is probably the only line that this character will get in the entire show. But anyway, it's not anything good. It's just hilarious mainly. But this was the first one that went in there in the box initially.
All right.
I didn't hear it, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good one.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, I have one favorite outside of Beyond the Wall.
Yeah, I tried.
And it was just because I wanted to spread the love.
I tried. Yeah, I really did, but every single one of them got taken over. Like, I put the ones in there that before Hardhome started, and then slowly, one by one, it was like, yep, that's definitely the scene. That's definitely the character. Well, I mean, yeah, it just slowly, Hardhome kept winning.
No, I mean, there's a reason that's what you remember this episode for, but we're going to head to Bravos now, wherein Arya assumes the identity of Lana, a clam seller, and shows Jaqen H'ghar she can convincingly become a different person, developing an elaborate and very believable backstory. And the Faceless Man sends her as Lana to the harbor, where she observes someone referred to as the Thin Man. She watches him refuse a contract to insure a man's boat, leaving the man in desperate circumstances. And Jaqen explains that the Thin Man's business is a sort of gamble, yet he does not honor his agreements. When a ship captain dies at sea, he is supposed to make good on his promise and pay the family a life insurance policy, essentially. But he usually does not. And Jaqen's like, kill his ass.
Give him this. Watch him. No, learn everything there is to know about him. And then give him this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of sick.
Well, learn everything there is to know about him so we can take his fucking face. You know?
That's
so
why they have to know the details.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they wanted to learn everything there was to know about him. I didn't know if
it's
there
so
was,
that
like,
they can become the Thin Man if they need to.
My God. It's money.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh my God, if we could take over this guy, we literally just are printing money.
Mm-hmm.
People come to us, they just give us their money, and they're off at sea. They don't fucking know.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Also, a bit of trivia: the Thin Man is a vegetarian, or a vegan. So this clam that Arya gave him was filled with mushrooms. Whenever he ate it, was not actually a clam.
That's incredibly considerate of them. As a vegetarian myself, I'm very, very happy they chose to do that. Like, that's
That was a pretty cool piece of trivia I read.
That's not something they had to do, and I appreciate that they took the time to do that. It's something so small, you would think they'd be like, well, dude, tough it out. And I'm glad they didn't do that. That makes me very happy.
Yeah. Thin Man. He's kind of a piece of shit, but in real life, that dude's just a real dude.
No, good enough for me.
It was the coolest bit of trivia I read. Was the only one I remembered out of all of them.
There's I enjoy this little, because we're heading in a really, really good direction in Bravos the next couple episodes. Like, I love what Arya does as Lana coming up. It's very strong. But
love that storyline. Yeah, just a little brief check-in though here.
And the waif is like, she ain't gonna be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jockin's like, all right, shit.
She's not ready. Yeah. And then, like, what does he say? Like, even if she isn't ready, then she'll just be, it's all the same to the many-faced god. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, it's all the same. Or whatever.
It's like, if she's not ready, she dies.
Yeah. And we take her face.
Yep.
That's fair enough. Jack and Hagar. That's crazy, seeing the waif. As the waif after
fucking Vel Sartha right there, baby.
So crazy. The difference in the
very different character there. Cannot wait for Andor season 2. But we're gonna head to King's Landing next, wherein Septa Unella continues to demand Cersei confess. When she refuses, she smacks the shit out of her. She goes, "I meant what I said. My face is going to be the last you get smacked again." Doesn't have much to say after that.
Man, I'm a sucker for a prisoner scene in a cell. Seeing someone you normally see all done
high
up
and mighty.
And then just absolute, like, in rags, like, all, just looking all bad. I don't know. I love it every time it happens. In this one, I don't know. The way it was shot too was so
gorgeous.
Nice. Like, the lighting, it's like dim, but then, like, you see, like, the reflections, like, off Lena Headey's eyes. Like,
the shot, I loved this detail, and I don't like. It's never stuck out to me before. I love the detail when she dumps the water out. She extends her arm, but you don't see her arm. You see her shadow on the ground, and then you see the water hit her shadow. Like, that's it's a small creative choice, but it's really fucking good. I love that little detail. And I love Lena Headey. I went with her. The stooping to the point where she slurps the water off the ground and stuff. And then after this, when Qyburn visits her and informs her trial will begin soon for the crimes of fornication, treason, incest, Robert's murder, and Cersei's like, none of it true, and Qyburn's like, of course, sure, yep, no doubt. Frankly, I don't give a shit. He's like, one way or another, could be true, couldn't be. I don't give a fuck. I like you, dog. He's like, you let me do my weird shit, and I fuck with that. Qyburn tells her that Grand Maester Pycelle has summoned Kevin Lannister to serve as Hand of the King, and at this point in time has already arrived and refused to visit her in prison, and is effectively running King's Landing.
Kevin, dude. Fucking Kevin. All names in Game of Thrones. I don't know.
It's got an A instead of an I, though. It's Kevin.
I guess. I just...
No, it's a terrible name.
God. Does this guy go soon?
I don't know. Does Kevin ever die? He might be in the Sept.
Don't tell. Ooh. Let's see. Season 6. He's in season 6.
Yeah, he dies. He dies in the Sept.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh.
He's Lancel's dad.
He was last seen trying to lead a confused Mace toward the door and escape the Sept before the explosion, but he got caught and blown up in it. Mace?
Yeah.
Is that
That's the Tyrell dad.
father? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Cersei quickly inquires to Qyburn about her son. And Qyburn has to inform him that he's become reclusive, refusing to see anyone and refusing to eat. And before leaving, as the Septa enters, he goes, "The work continues." And the reason I chose Lena Headey was the acting she did when the Septa enters the room, and she cowers in the corner and is kind of like, "Oh fuck, man!" Like there's no escape. She can't go anywhere, but she's trying her best to get as far away without looking scared.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I fucking love Lena Headey, dude. I can't get over it.
Trying to still keep that image up of her,
because she doesn't turn her shoulders down. She doesn't slump. She stays broad shouldered. She stays up, but she just kind of looks down and refuses to look at her. And I was like, oh fuck, she's good, man. I just love that choice. So, I loved that scene. And before Hardhome, it was slotted as my favorite scene, which is why I gave Lena Headey my performance mainly. But
good. Someone, I don't know if anyone else deserves a nod for the episode. It'd probably be Lena Headey. That is usually a very common.
It's her third of the season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Third of 8.
Wow, that is very good. I believe. Let's see. I've given her one this season. Wow, I've kind of been a little
spreading the love.
I've been spreading the love a little bit. But not for sadly, but glad she's getting the nod. The scene, this scene was great. Love a good prisoner scene in this one. Yeah, I don't know what they actually did for her drinking that off the ground. If maybe. I mean,
she had to slurp something off something.
Maybe it was playing with the camera angle a little bit, where we thought it was ground, but then right behind it, where she's actually drinking, is just a little bowl or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past Lena Headey to be willing to slurp something off the ground for this character. I love Lena Headey. She's a little bit of a nut.
Yeah.
I would not. She's on her Daniel Day-Lewis putting glass over his eye and tapping it with a knife until she can't blink sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her. That's fair.
But I would also be willing to bet this ground isn't nearly as dirty as it might look. They probably cleaned it.
An actual cell in which he is pissing and shitting somewhere in a corner. That's always a thought that runs.
Me too. I remember seeing Marjorie last episode and being like, she might be in her shit corner right now. That might be where she's sitting.
Exactly. That's the one thought that goes to my mind every time is well, I wonder where they're shitting and pissing. And, it's somewhere in there. It's gotta happen.
At least they're not on their Jaime Lannister shit where they're tied to a post and just shitting and pissing all over themselves.
Gotta suck way more, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
But we're then heading to Winterfell, where speaking as someone who's had a rough time of it, Reek here, a bitter and determined Sansa confronts Reek about his latest betrayal. She's like, "What's up? What's up, Theon? What the fuck is this?" And Reek's like, shit, man. I've been through enough, I'm not really that sorry. This happened and it had to happen, He tells her that Theon Greyjoy tried to escape, but Ramsay caught him and tortured him until there was no Theon left. And Sansa coldly expresses her approval of this. She's like, good, if I'd got my hands on you, I'd have done the same fucking thing. You killed my brothers. And he's like, I didn't.
I don't know. Would Sansa really do the same thing?
No.
I think
easy to say, less easy to do.
She would have been pissed. Yeah, but going through those steps, you got to be a different kind of person to do that. I think
she probably would have executed him, probably not tortured him.
Yeah. But the truth would have came out eventually anyways. It does here. And I was griping last episode. I'm like, wow, what the fuck? It's hilarious. Just zero mention of Bran whatsoever.
Right.
Literally, next episode, it's like, oh, well, here they are. I didn't kill him. What up? I don't know. Just literally get name dropped next episode. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, Reek being like, I deserved it, I've done terrible shit, what I did to Rob, I killed those boys. And Sansa's like, no, don't call them those boys. They were Bran and Rickon. They were like your brothers. They were your brothers. She doesn't say like your brothers. They were your brothers. Mm-hmm. And Reek's like, I didn't. They weren't Bran and Rickon. They were just some farmers' boys. I didn't do it. And stunned by this admission, Sansa's anger toward Reek cools. But when she presses him as to where they might have gone, calling him Theon again, he breaks down, runs out of the room crying, not Theon, Reek! I almost went with Alfie Allen for that delivery alone.
Was good. Yeah.
What's fantastic about Alfie Allen as Theon and specifically as Reek is that he is always like top 2 or 3 if he's in an episode for performance. And he doesn't get picked a lot because he does just kind of do the same thing over and over. But my God, is he really fucking good at that thing? Like him going, not Theon, Reek. I was like, oh, fuck, man, this dude is torn up.
I wonder what this dude did to get in the mindset. Just on set and just, I don't know. That's a weird...
Just a good actor, man.
Have to get to. Yeah, that's.
I just love the idea of them being like cut and him being like, "Oh, good job, Sophie." All
right. Who wants a cheeseburger? Yeah. Who's hungry? Let's go get some food. That's insane. That's just their job.
Different, man. But we then cut to Roose planning their assault on Winterfell, which he doesn't plan on assaulting, or not his assault on Winterfell, defending Winterfell. Mm-hmm. He plans on starving out Stannis' forces, as Winterfell has enough supplies to last 6 months under siege, so they're gonna die before any of that happens. And Ramsay's like, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Hearing Roose say this, though, Stannis did not stand a chance against that siege. Dude just had nothing.
Even before, I'd forgotten. Last episode, I said, there's nothing that, happens that makes him do that. There is. Ramsay goes and burns his fucking camp to the ground.
Oh.
When he goes, I just need 20 good men. He takes 20 good men, sneaks into his camp, burns down a bunch of his huts, and kills his horses.
Oh my God. Yeah, this dude
I'd completely forgotten about that. So,
God damn. Ramsay, fucked up, but man, does he get shit done somehow,
He's an effective military commander.
Why does he have to be efficient and good at that? That sucks.
It does. A little bit more like the Bronn thing where he's like, all I need is 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch. That sort of thing,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, why does the other one have to be freaking
Ramsay?
Yeah, of all people. Ramsay.
Fuck Ramsay, man. But,
Jon Snow just needs Jon Snow, though. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No one else. People will come to save him, and just because he is Jon Snow, but he just needs himself. So that's I don't know. Find solace in that.
No, yeah, man.
He'll eventually.
We're almost there. We're at the wall now.
We're getting close.
In. Gilly continues to tend Sam's wounds, and Ollie enters with some food, having heard what happened, and once Gilly leaves, Ollie's like, still can't really wrap my mind around what Jon's doing. The wildlings, they raided my village, they killed my family, and Sam's like, I'm sure they fought well, and he's like, they weren't fighters. They didn't. It was a slaughter. They were farmers. Nothing like that happened. Tormund led the raid, the one that he is literally going there with.
Yeah.
It's not like some of them are good, some of them are bad. No, the one that we think is good is the one who killed my family. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel very good about it. And this is the first time you kind of go,
no, that's what I was just about to say, is that even through all of this, did I feel one shred of sympathy for Ollie? No, I can't wait for him to hang, dude. I can't wait. Like, oh my god, he's so wrong. He couldn't be any more wrong. Sure, bud. Yeah,
Sure.
your whole farm, your whole village that you
Your
grew up
entire
with.
family. Then made you watch as he said he was going to eat your mother.
Understandable. Whatever. Everyone has their own
we get it.
Okay?
You've been through shit. This isn't the trauma Olympics.
No, but for real though, I like before, like whenever he was saying this, I'm like, man, maybe I have been a little bit too hard on Ollie.
No, yeah. Well, what's funny is like, we've been hating on Ollie because John takes him under his wing, and he's been very, very exceedingly kind to Ollie, and that betrayal particularly stings. Mm-hmm. But if there is anybody of the group that assassinates John, who on all fronts it would make the most sense to not understand his move, it's Ollie. Alistair Thorne is a grown fucking man,
Yeah.
Like,
Ollie's just kind of there,
Ollie's a 14-year-old, or I mean, like maybe a 14-year-old. He's a young child whose family was killed by wildlings. He doesn't have critical thought. He's like, this guy, I'm gonna kill him, Alistair Thorne, like, you need these motherfuckers, man. Like, I don't know what your fucking problem is, but that's neither here nor there. Sam, reassures Ollie that John knows what he's doing and that unless he is successful, neither the Night's Watch nor Westeros stands a chance against the White Walkers. And Sam explains that this is a hard choice, but John had to make it, and then tells him not to worry. John always comes back. I've been worrying about him for years. He always comes back.
It's a good line there. A little foreshadow,
Yeah.
Don't worry, little Ollie. John always comes back. Don't worry, guys. In a couple episodes, don't worry. John always comes back.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Not this Don't worry about him this episode. That's not the main worry, Just give it a few. Sit on it a little bit. Don't worry, little children. Your boy will come back. That's a nice thing knowing in this rewatch, that I'm not about to have to wait a year and a half or whatever and sit with the fact that like we might have lost Jon Snow. That we can just move right on.
Ooh. It's fucking great, man.
Know he's coming back, but this was a great little prelude. Starting, you just got kind of getting closer and closer to the north. You got to the wall, and I'm like, okay, we're here. I'm like, it's about to begin.
And then we get there. This is where it begins. We are at Hardhome, where Jon Snow and Tormund, along with the other members of the Night's Watch and the Free Folk, arrive at the wildling town Hardhome to convince the rest of the wildlings to join them in the coming war against the White Walkers. Insisting on never being an ally of the Crow, the Lord of Bones insults Tormund for being at the side of an enemy like Jon Snow. And I love that, he's like, what are you doing? You're not in chains. What is this? He's like, he's not my prisoner. He's like, what is he? I love the way Jon doesn't think through a single fucking thing. It's
honestly
hilarious.
Had some bad responses. Dude responded in the worst way that he could to a lot of questions.
And multiple times. And we'll get there, but like, and being like, we're allies. And then being like, Tormund, good luck, buddy. Like that sort of thing. There are multiple times where he's like, Tormund, you're going to have to convince them. And I get the logic of it. They're not going to believe him. Even if he was like, I put an arrow through Mance's heart, but believe me, it was mercy. They were going to burn him at the stake. Like, no, Tormund needs to say that,
Yeah. John's just showing that he's being brutally honest. He's like, I'm not going to hide anything from you guys. Like, I'm just...
We're allies. Yeah, man. I love Kit Harington, man.
I'll let Tormund do the rest for you. It was... I don't know, but he could have still answered a little, a little
more tactfully.
He's
like, well, he could have been like, well, we're here to make a deal. Not, we're allies. Hanging him out to dry like, good luck, buddy. But Tormund's like, so gather the elders, let's talk. And Lord of Bones is like, nah, I don't think so, buddy. Fuck you and fuck your mother. And he takes his staff and beats the Lord of Bones to death with it. Yep. And he's like I said, gather the elders, let's talk. And everyone's like, okay, fair enough. Let's do that.
We'll talk. Lord of Bones. I mean, that was like, dude was kind of like number 2 up there in the north. It kind of seemed like it was Mance Rayder, and then it was kind of like this dude, maybe Tormund, I guess. Now it's definitely after this one. But this just kind of got his face bashed in. Dude's just there, laying
How are
there.
you going to be called the Lord of Bones and not do a single fucking thing that's
Damn,
cool?
he got resurrected. Didn't think about that when he was there.
Yep.
Damn. Oh, that's rough.
Becomes a bone man.
Yeah. You know, his as slowly as his skin deteriorates, the like bones that he's wearing, like I don't know if they would fall off, but it's like he has like a double skeleton on at that point.
Dope. That's kind of dope. I kind of fuck with that. But the Wildling elders then agree to meet at the town hall and hear out Jon's proposal, an alliance between the free folk and the Night's Watch in the face of their common enemy, the undead. I love Jon getting on his fucking soapbox about why we need to fight the White Walkers. It's all he does for the next couple seasons. But every time he goes, we can't stop them. All the armies in the south can't stop them. The kings in the south can't stop them. You know, but maybe together we can. And that's all he does. That's all he does every single time.
Oh my God. You know, he opens this one. He's like, we're not friends. I'm not here to make friends. You know, he's like, I don't know. I love how he like set the expectation. He's like, I'm being very real with you guys.
He's like, I'm not here because I want to be. This shit is a necessity.
Yeah, it is about survival, he said, you know. And I'm like, Jon got the character, I think, pretty easily.
Got it for me as well.
Dude's the only one putting in work to have everyone survive right now and make some big moves. And then I think this scene might have been like the performance, like that I chose him for performance as well. And I think it was really this scene, like his action and stuff. It's nice. It is awesome. I love seeing the classic Kit Harington spin and then slice move that he does for someone running by. It happens, I don't know, almost every time. And I love it. But no, I like his politicking a little more.
Yeah, his diplomacy.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know. And he's like, the only people he couldn't win over were the fucking cannibals. So like, he did a pretty good job, you know.
I fucking hate Thens.
Oh God, yeah. Like, dude just gave like an actual great ass speech, and like the other guys were like, yeah, I mean, shit. I guess like if we stay here, we're all dead. Like, at least if we go with him, like
my ancestors would curse me if I ever broke bread with a wildling. Yeah. Mine would too, but fuck them, they're dead. I fucking love her, dude. I love her.
She reminded me of Tess on The Last of Us, kind of just like
similar vibes.
Just super badass. And I'm like, man, what a badass character we're getting here. I don't know who we were talking about earlier. I'm like, man, what a sick character. I wonder where and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I kind of forgot.
Hardhome is about to happen, isn't it?
Episode I'm watching right now. And
where did she go? Oh, you know, like that.
it hit pretty fast, you know.
Yeah.
But no, this little council was pretty cool. And then, you know, having a 1-1 just chilling in the background. And he just like
1-1 to the sea. That's one of my favorite lines.
That was awesome. My line comes right before that.
Oh,
directly before Tom or Tormund
we'll get that. But I almost picked that for my line because I thought it was like kind of fucking funny. You know, Tormund being like 1-1 to the sea.
Yeah, but no, 1-1 like he was on Tormund's side. You know, like because what's Tess or the girl Tess? What's her character's name? Carsey. Yeah, because Carsey, you know, is agreeing with him. Like, you know, I'll never agree with a crow. But Tormund, you know, like I trust if you trust him. If you think this is the way, then I'm in. And then you see 1-1, you know, just go Tormund, like, and that's like his way of just being like, I'm with Tormund. You know, he only had to say Tormund, and everyone was like, all right, fuck yeah, like
fuck yeah, 1-1,
1-1's in. You know, like 1-1. I
love 1-1. He's like the last of his kind, man. You know, like this is it.
King just died. Imagine that. King just died at the wall. And that, like, or I guess two of them died. One of them died kind of trying to break into the wall, and then one of them died in the tunnel. One of them was their king. So even 1-1 is like, yeah, no, I'll trust you, Tormund. Like, I'll go with this.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal.
Watch. So kind of.
Well, and like the way that we get there, them being like, what about Mance Rayder? Haven't seen him. And they're like, what happened to him? And Snow's like,
I
shot him in the chest.
Right through his fucking heart. Yeah, like in like the way he said it though. He's like, I put an arrow through his chest.
And he almost says it like braggadociously, he's like, I put an arrow through his heart. It's like so matter of fact.
Like you knew Tormund had to save you on this one. Tormund's
like, wait. My God, John, fucking A. I'm trying to be your friend here. Him being like, I promise it was an act of mercy. The king of the South, the one who and again, like using Stannis as an I never realized that Stannis is the reason that the wildlings are like truly done. I kind of forgot that.
Yeah.
Like the king in the South came up. You call that a fight? Like they came up and they slaughtered us. Mm-hmm. He's like, that king, he was gonna burn him at the stake to send us a message, and he put an arrow through his heart. It was an act of mercy. And they're like, okay. But the Then warrior Laboda is like, nah, fuck that, I'm out of here. And then Jon offers them the dragonglass daggers, telling them that his friend had killed a White Walker with one. And the wildlings still seem unconvinced. But some of them stay, some of them go. Carsey delivers that line, I fucking hate Thens.
It was good. Yeah,
and Tormund just kind of be like, yeah, like, fuck, man.
Kind of seems everyone does. There's kind of the one group, Mance united them all, but that's the one that everyone's just kind of like, all right.
Everyone's like, God damn, these fucking guys.
And you know what? We got to stick with them because, we are all wildlings, whatever. But like, man, once we get on the other side of that wall, let's just let them stay here, dude. Just
right.
Let them stay. While dies pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, and completely unceremoniously, and we'll get there. But while approximately 5,000 free folk gather to set sail to the wall, the Night's Watch starts gathering the dragonglass daggers in the tent, and one is studying one rather intently. And this is the first time Dolorous Edd gets to see a giant, and he is obviously rather amazed.
Yeah,
and one delivers a very simple line to Ed in response: "The fuck you looking at?"
Yeah, but in a different language at that too. So Ed has no idea what is being said to him, and you can hear the people in the background being like, "Hey, put the knives in the bag, put the glass in the bag." Like they're collecting them, like they're all getting them all ready. And then Ed's like,
"Fuck you looking at?"
Yeah, no, you can keep that one.
That's
that's all yours, man. You can. I'm not getting that back from you.
Yeah,
love Ed. So that is who my line will come from. Is Ed this episode?
Oh, good. Yes, he's got some goodies, man. He does.
Oh, it's just 2 words, and that's it for this line.
Fuck.
It's literally. It's just an oh fuck. But it's the
delivery was pretty fucking stellar.
The moment, I literally, the reason I chose it is because
fuck.
At the same time, he's just exactly what the audience is thinking, this moment.
Yeah.
But we'll get whenever we get to the moment.
We're not too far off. There's not much that happens here, but there's a lot that happens, but there's not much to talk about. But
true.
I love the unsettling quiet of them loading everybody onto the boats. You hear the murmurs, you hear everything, and then you hear barking. You hear the dogs. The dogs get going.
Ooh, that's right. It does start with the dogs.
And when the dogs get going, everyone turns.
Yeah.
And then you see the storm coming in over the fucking mountainside, and you're like, oh, no. And then in the distance, they don't even show you what's coming, but in the distance, you see people start running, and the Then is like, close the fucking gate. Close the fucking gate. And they close the gate. You hear the screams, and then the screams fucking stop.
What is it, dude? What is this Andor? Gotta bang, and then you gotta worry about whenever it goes quiet. I swear it's every every big battle, tragedy, whatever. This is more of a tragedy. It's not really a battle. I don't know. I think they do call it the Battle of Hardhome.
Yeah.
When they refer to it, but man, not much of a battle. Literally, not a single loss for the Night King. Literally, only gained
one loss.
Oh, this is true. He did have one loss. Fair enough. On the grand scheme of things, came out quite
He's
victorious.
in the positive. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this was more of just like a theatric as well. Like,
oh yeah, he was just showing off.
I love thinking, were they marching south just already and they just happen to be here? Do they know that there's a big bag of dragon glass right here, and it's the only known kind of dragon glass they have at the time, and they're trying to get it? It is interesting that there is a White Walker sent to this hut.
That's true.
And because I was thinking about, at first I'm like, they're just here. It's story, they just have to be here. Introduce the threat into the story, whatever. And then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe there is an actual reason they're here. Maybe they know of things that happen at Castle Black somehow. They, I don't know. Like, maybe there is more to them than we see, because we completely thought that they were just, mindless zombies, whatever. But then you see there's 4 horsemen up at the top of the mountain, and then that's when Jon's like, okay, we're dealing with something like a little different here. Like, they're intelligent, like this isn't just a zombie horde or whatever. And I don't know, I was wondering if it is that dragon glass, or maybe it's Jon, or
I've always taken it to be that they just know Hardhome is where all the wildlings are, and they plan on building their fucking army. It's just a bunch of more bodies. They
just need to go where the people are.
No, but the one that is fascinating is the specific detail that a White Walker was sent directly to the hut where the dragon glass was. That is interesting. I hadn't really considered that, and I would be assuming that there probably is some sort of, the Night King literally has dragon glass shoved into the middle of his chest, so maybe there's like a resonance that it has when near other dragon glass that he can like feel or something, and he's like, get that shit or else we'll die.
Literally raise people from the dead, armies at a time. So like, I don't put many things past him. I think like even a wildling said, like someone was like, yeah, dragon glass. Oh, I've heard stories. And like, yeah, I've heard stories about dragon or giant ice spiders. And they're like, from all we've seen, do you really put that past? Do you really not believe in that too? So I don't know. I was kind of thinking,
ice spiders, big as hounds. A little bit of a callback to the first little story that Nan tells Bran in the bed there.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't catch that. That's nice.
And I've heard stories of ice spiders big as hounds. Nevertheless, the silence falls, and a moment later, a large host of undead whites begin trying to break through the gates and climbing over the walls. And there's panic. Everyone starts running into the water. They're trying to go, and Tormund, them being like, "You're not going to be able to make it back," and he's like, "Yeah, let's." My line is a line that has always got me fucking going every time I've watched this, and it's when Jon looks around and he goes, "Night's Watch with me," and then and he run, like whenever a hero runs the opposite direction that everyone else is towards the threat, I fucking love that. I'm a sucker for it.
I'm screaming at my TV, dude. I'm with you, Jon. I love a good with me. I love it with me. Never gets old.
So that's my line. Night's Watch with me, and he fucking runs in there. Tormund's at his side, Ed's with him. I'm like, fuck yes.
Literally at the front line, like holding like freaking White's back, like through the little hole that they're climbing through in the fence, and he's like, the sled, Tormund, get the fucking sled.
Yeah.
Like, he's holding them back. Like, dude is like, I don't know. Yeah, goddamn, Jon Snow. This motherfucker.
Jon fucking Snow, baby. Yeah, so this is obviously like my scene, if I have to pick like a little bit, It's when the whites arrive and it falls silent and stuff. That stuff is seen. But everything after, very fun fact about my experience with the show, is the first thing of Game of Thrones I ever saw. First thing of Game of Thrones I ever saw was the Battle of Hardhome. It's what made me watch the fucking show. My dad, it was...
But you had no idea, I guess, the context.
I had no idea what the context was. I didn't know who anyone was. My dad was watching it, I think, in anticipation of season 6 or 7. So it wasn't when it came out. So I don't know when in the show it is. I don't know. And so, like, being able to kind of build to this, because I remember, like, my dad was watching it up in his room. I went up there for something, and then, like, it's, you know, a bunch of zombies fighting these dudes, and I was like, I like sat down on the bed and like watched it for a second. I was like, whoa, you know, I was like, this is kind of cool. And my dad's like, that's Jon Snow. I'm like, that's Jon Snow, you know, because like I'd heard of Jon Snow. I'm like 16. It's been a big show. I'm like, that's Jon Snow. He's like, yep, that's Jon Snow. I'm like, I kind of like Jon Snow, you know, and all that stuff. And so like the first little bit was my dad explaining, you know, that's the Night King, that's Jon Snow. And I'm just kind of, I'm like, you know, I'm saying it like I was like 8 years old, like in awe, like, oh, cool, you know, but I'm 16 and I'm still like, whoa, you know, like that's super cool, man. He's like, yeah, that's the Night King and all da 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 da.
You know, some would say that is hella tight. And
that's hella tight.
This episode is hella tight. I mean, it's certified up there.
But then a few days later, me and Trenton watched the first episode, and I watched the rest of it after that. So
fair enough.
Yeah, it got me. But
I don't know what the first piece of Thrones that I saw was.
I'm like, this is a very memorable first piece of Thrones, which is what, because like I stayed until the end of the episode. It was like 25 minutes that I sat there and watched, and then like it ends with him like raising the army, and I was like, oh
shit.
Because I didn't know, obviously, I didn't know a fucking thing about this show, you know. And I'm like,
that'd be insane to
awesome.
See. I know. That'd be nuts to see this.
Yeah, so that's my little tidbit about my experience with the show. I love Hardhome for more than just it being awesome. It's also the first thing in Game of Thrones I ever saw.
Wow, that's nuts. I think it was a first viewing for me whenever I was first seeing it. This is it was fresh. And I was very much in shock. That's for sure. I remember that much being like, okay, I did not know the show was going here. In this direction, but
God,
no, I don't know. I'm glad.
Anytime I remember I watched this show for the first time when I was a junior in high school. Because it was in anticipation of season 7 is when I like watched it. And I remember it was my every fucking thought, dude. I thought about it fucking stop the first time I watched this, man. Like I loved it so dearly. And this was a big reason why, you know. I remember I developed like a very, very real fucking crush on Jon Snow. You know, I was like, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. I love shirt. When a TV show gets me to buy a shirt.
When it gets me to buy like merch. Something.
Yeah, the banners, the freaking Targaryen, Stark, and Lannister banners I have up there. Got some Jon Snow on the throne pop figure.
Most
people have a lot of those. I don't have many. But that's one I do have. It is Jon Snow.
I don't have that one. I do have a Jon Snow, but I don't have that one. But
okay, but yeah, I do love me some Jon Snow as well. That's for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of a hero worship thing going on there. He's just
he's getting up there. Character, he's getting a lot of character nods and other performance as well. He's
only going to keep going up. Season 6 is really that's Jon season right there, baby. You know, like that's the good shit. Because like somehow, like I've said multiple times, we're still somehow on the rise. You know, like he became the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and you thought that's it. This is the height. but then he keeps rising in legend through this, you know, like you get to hear and you're like, what is this man not capable of? You know, like, is there anything he can't do?
No, he can do everything. He's that dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, not many people in just fiction that are like him, that I like will ride or die for.
Oh, John's one of them, though. I love John.
Mm.
But amidst all the chaos, on top of the hill overlooking Hardhome, several White Walkers mounted on undead horses observed the battle, including the Night King. And noticing them and realizing the need for dragonglass, Jon is like, the dragonglass! And Loboda, the Thenn, is like, you and me then. And I was like, okay, Loboda, I kind of fuck with that, okay? I kind of fuck with that. Because
mid-battle, you know, that's a bonding experience.
Well, and like, is there any harder sell on what Jon was just saying than this happening immediately after? You know, like,
yeah, the dude's like, you know what? I'll eat my words. I think you're right. I'll get on that boat if we make it out of this. Yep,
yes, you know what? Okay.
We're coming with you.
This is bad. But,
you're right.
Yeah, they go in there. They head to the burning town hall and, only to be confronted by a White Walker there. And while Jon attempts to go for the dragonglass, Loboda's like, I got this. He swings his axe twice and then gets fucking murked. Quite easily. And I think this is to emphasize just how fucking gnarly, it's a really bad weapon. Terrible weapon choice. What the fuck are we doing here, Loboda? But second, just how badass the White Walkers are to build up what Jon does in a second. Jon, when he has a weapon that is capable of facing this motherfucker, does to the White Walker what the White Walker did to this guy.
Yeah. That's true.
One fucking blocks it, one swing, done. You're dead.
It's because he never had to deal with that before. You know, like this White Walker, he's like, they've
never had a fight. They've never had a fight.
There's just zero competition whatsoever. Samwell Tarly was their competition. That was their first competition. It was more of like I just got really lucky in a situation. This one more purposeful. I guess more of also like Jon probably thought his sword was going as well. He had no idea Valyrian steel was about to stop.
It's actually really similar to that moment when Jaime throws his gold hand up and it catches catches in. He's like, oh shit, he's God, but man, this whole sequence here,
right here. I love the sequence of it, and like the build up, like really, really making you think like he could go here. Like this is like holy shit, like Jon, it's not looking good. Like just he's throwing them around. You know, he picks up that one little sword or whatever. He gets a dagger, and the White Walker tosses him aside. Then he gets another sword, and it gets shattered immediately. And then he gets pushed through a hole in the ground, falls 10 feet down, knocks the wind out of him. That's when he retrieves Longclaw and heads outside, stumbling. But then the music dropping out as he's like the stunt work here by the White Walker is fucking gnarly. Like the way he goes about swinging this sword down is hard as fuck. The wind up. Ooh, yeah.
Like that shit was cool.
The noise that it makes, dude. But on contact. And then like the White Walker, being like, and then Jon going like, Jon also
the fucking photography here, man. Like Kit Harington, like the image of the swords crossed with Jon's face like right there, like, oh my fucking god, Valyrian steel. It does it too. Let's fucking get it, baby.
And then he's like, oh, I got this now.
He's like, oh, that's a fucking wrap, bro.
Oh, I have a weapon against you. See you later. Deflects one thing and then just boom. Like he was like that. No cut, no blood, just shatter. Like that. I don't know. That's
loads, motherfucker.
Dude, they're so cool. I want to know all the lore.
This is the moment. There's a couple moments, obviously, but this is the moment where it really pissed me the fuck off that Jon Snow and the Night King never face off. And it's because the Night King looks at Jon after he's killed his White Walker, shattered on the ground, and is like, that's a motherfucker to watch out for. You know, that's a guy I need to think about. You know, like that. And he does think about him, but it's never an issue. They never. Oh my God, it pisses me off.
Show. I mean, it is what the entire show is building towards,
and it is so okay that Arya kills him. I have no beef. Obviously, I would love that Jon. I would love if Jon got the chance to kill him, but at least a face-off. Doesn't even have to win. It can be a face-off where he gets saved by like some random, like, you know, Daenerys' dragon swoops in and fucks him up for a second or something. You know, like anything. Maybe Jon beats him down so bad that the Night King is forced to raise the dead prematurely, and that's how he gets away. You know, like anything. Let these motherfuckers go sword to sword, dude. It pisses me off.
Dude, he does give him that stare down. You're right. He was like.
Oh, and it's not the only stare down of the episode. Whenever they're floating away, he knows who he needs to look at. You know, he doesn't know who the Lord. I don't think he knows who the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch is. He knows that's the motherfucker who's the leader. You know, like
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how, like, what level of like intellect to give the Night King and all of them. You know, like, they don't really seem to speak to each other, but they are kind of like a hive mind. So maybe they don't really need to in the first place. Is it really is it really just him? You know, is it him in everybody? So it is a literal hive mind, and like there is no you know, or whatever. I don't know. I love thinking about like where they chill. You know, like what their cities are like. If they have cities, if there's like more of them, is this just?
I like to think that they're just always on the fucking move, man.
Yeah. Like, is this just their military, or like do they also have women and children just chilling at home? You know, going down ice slides and playing in like ice parks or something. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe they're chill people, and they don't seem like it. But you never know. I don't know. I'm kind of holding out still. I don't know why. But I still feel like there's just more that we have no idea about them.
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll never know, which sucks, but yeah, there could be.
George.
You know, especially considering that the Night King is not a character in the books.
That's true.
So George R.R. Martin is not going to do anything with him.
This is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there is
in
a
fact,
history.
Like,
books.
And that's the thing, bro. That's what pisses me. They created the Night King for Jon to have a rival in this shit.
That's
you know,
true.
like that is why they made the Night King. I don't know.
Damn, that does suck. That actually does suck.
They literally created the character so he could fight Jon, and then he didn't fight Jon.
Usually I was one to be like, oh, but come on, the Arya kill was pretty cool. Like, I'm usually one to defend it.
And that can still like, I think that you could do this the exact same way, just include one fucking fight, dude. One of them. Single one. I don't care. You know, like just one of them. They never go toe-to-toe like that. And I know it's like, oh, they fight on the back of dragons. That's cool. That's not as cool. You know it's not as cool. We can hardly fucking see that fight. You never really know what's going on up there, you know? I love that episode, but you have no idea what's going on with those dragons the entire fucking time.
I want to see him face to face with some motion in there, you know? Like, cause this little brief fight that we had here with this White Walker was
gnarly.
Awesome. Oh my God. Like, yeah, that brief moment of realization. Oh.
And if it is the Night King who is actually capable of fucking if he's like the guy, and he's like, I just can't imagine how much cooler that could have been. But, you know, because it'd be cool if like Jon fought him to a stalemate even. Like if they could not get the one up on each other, that'd be fine too. Just let them fight, you know? It just kind of pissed me off. They're like, you want Euron versus Jaime? Here you go. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know. Give Jon some, like, Daenerys can resist fire, but Jon resists, like, the ice of their spears or whatever.
That'd be
like,
gnarly.
That'd be pretty
That'd
sick.
be gnarly.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, thinking that he would die in that moment, but then it's like, nah, not really. So.
Nah, but regardless, this is when the Night King sends him over the edge. They all go dive bombing there. And that's when we get they all land and Jon and Ed just kind of stand there for a second like, and then one of their heads just snaps up, and you're like, oh, okay, yep, this is a problem. That's when you get the Dolores head. Oh, fuck!
Oh, fuck. Dude, oh my god, I lost it. It was funny, it was what I was saying in my head at the time, and, like, just his delivery of it, and they just start to run, like, I don't know what it was, but, like, I just instantly knew. Like, I'm like, yeah, oh, Ed? Like, he's not gonna get a character, or, like, I don't know. Like, there's not really much going for him, but this line was just so funny.
Hard.
And I was, like, it was literally the second I thought it in my head, he delivers it, and I'm like, okay,
fuck. Yeah, no, I love that shit. But we then get the most, one of the more devastating little episode arc deaths of the entire show with Cersei here, who fights off multiple whites before being confronted by a pack of undead children. The woman who had sent her kids off earlier in the episode, coming face to face with them and being like, that's too much, maybe I just die, I won't do this. And they all come get her, and that's the end of Cersei there. But
oh my god, that was so bad. Like, what a beautiful, just single episode arc though that they had there. Like,
wonderful.
Didn't need to do that at all, but oh my god, it was terrible. Yeah, like she got her children off into safety, so like, oh no, I gotta go get everyone
and then
else.
Her being like, whenever John's thinking about going into the fray, she's like, you can't go. You have to go back. And he's like, why? And she's like, because my kids are on those boats. Do you think anybody's going to abide by your rules when you're dead?
Yeah, she was smart. She was definitely, like, the elders. I love how it's like, gather the elders. And then, like, she's just kind of a very
honorary
young
elder.
Yeah, just smart. I don't know.
Well, what's that say about the wildlings, too, which is kind of sad? There's nobody in that room that's particularly old.
That's true. Yeah, I guess the lifespan isn't probably that old.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, I mean, there were a couple there that were a little older, but they didn't get to speak or anything, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this is when we get another great line from Tormund here. 1-1 to the sea! He's throwing several whites off and builds a burning log he wields a burning log as a club and whacks a bunch of them. And they managed to get...
1-1 was going down here, almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't remember if he made it out of this or not.
Do you remember how 1-1 goes down?
Shit. No.
Good.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
no.
It's good.
No, I don't.
Oh, it's good. I'm ready for that, though. It's sad to see him go, but I love to watch him leave.
Damn. 1-1. Legend.
Yeah. Legend. But, yeah, he manages to cover their escape. They get to the last remaining boat and row out quickly. And 1-1, he's just walking into the ocean. And, they're like probably a good 20 feet deep, but he's still got his whole upper half out of the water and stuff. And as John and the others look on in horror I love the shot of the destruction. Nobody is up yet. It's just flat. You see them going crazy over there. And it goes for a ways, there's that other stretch of land on the side.
Way more.
Yeah. And then the Night King, you see him step in and you see the snow follow him. It's not snowing there until he steps there, and then the snow starts coming. And he looks at John and raises the arms.
Dude knows. He's one for the theatrics. He's smart, I don't know. I think we got to give him more credit than we usually do. But man, yeah, this is an unforgettable end of an episode right here. I mean, this is kind of the vision that runs through your head every time you think of the Night King. Like, I don't know, it's kind of what runs through my head every time.
Well, what kind of pissed me off, and this is just a me thing. Like, this is far from a critique for the show, but it's just a social media thing. There's a GIF that I'd forgotten where it came from of the Night King with his arms out like this, and he's going, he's like doing the shimmy. He's doing a shimmy shoulder thing. So as soon as he lifted his arms up, that's what I saw, and I was like, fuck! I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. What a moment. Can only think of him doing the shimmy, though.
Yeah, no. Awesome. But regardless, it was very in and out of my head. But like for that half second, I was like, fuck, that's where that is.
The internet, it's a double-edged sword. It gives and takes.
It does. But them watching on in horror as they cut to black in silence.
Just the silence too.
The water sloshing. Sure. Fuck! When they cut to black and it's quiet, that's the shit. That's the shit right there. Those are the fucking episodes, man.
Mm-hmm. Happens in like Rebels and Clone Wars a couple times. Because usually you get that like bump, just very happy tune at the end of the episodes. But the ones that end in silence, you're meant to sit there and ponder. And yeah, that's what you do here. You sit there and you ponder, and you're definitely it's an oh fuck. Dolores, Ed, thank you. Dude, I don't know. I need that like as a soundboard. I don't know. I remember we figured there was a soundboard.
Oh yeah. Discord also, that didn't record. Which is kind of
that's
fucking
so
stupid.
Awkward. So we're just sounding. Yeah, we're just saying. Okay, that's good to know. But I had the thought. I'm like, I need that just like as my text tone, or I don't know, something that I could hear it often. But yeah, I don't know. What a fucking just an absolute behemoth of an episode that we got this week. I was
fucking wonderful.
I was very glad that we got to Hardhome and that was able to watch it. Watched it twice. You had to.
We don't have many of these like these left. There's we started the show and it was like Baelor. It was like Baelor. It was like the Battle of Blackwater Bay. It was the Red Wedding. Mm-hmm. The Battle at the Wall. Now we're down to the Battle of the Bastards, Beyond the Wall, the Battle of Winterfell. It's like one a season.
Yeah, and arguably, I think this might be the tippy top of them all.
Battle of the Bastards is pretty strong, dude.
I realized what I said right when I said it. That's I don't know. We'll get there, but as of right now, I think this is number one in the show.
Yeah, I mean, like the rating of this one is not hard. It's been a while since we've had a surefire 10.
This one is a 10 on the enjoyment. Yeah.
Enjoyment-wise, this is a surefire 10. And there's
I needed. I'm glad. I was thinking. I didn't think we'd have to, but this one was a 10 for me. And I mean, I think it's the best. I don't know.
Oh, it's the best episode of the season too.
Yeah. And the highest we've given is a 9.5. I don't know. Have we ever given a 10 critically? No, we haven't.
We have not.
Yes, I guess.
And I would argue there are episodes of the show that are better. So like,
I feel like 9.5 or 9.75. I mean,
I say we throw it a 9.75.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty as close to perfect as you can get, which puts it at a 9.83. Is that like the highest? I'd say that's probably the highest that any episode's gotten. Yeah, like
that ties the season 4 episode 9, the Battle at the Wall. That ties the Reigns of Castamere. We usually have a 10, 9, 7, 5 per season. It seems like. We had the genre rating earlier on, so it.
That's true. It does kind of throw it out a little bit, but so yeah. But I mean, I guess I don't need all of these numbers to know that this one rests comfortably in my top 1 of the show right now. As far as my ratings go,
as far as enjoyment is concerned, this is that episode, man.
Yeah. Man, yeah, I don't know. It's not just Hardhome that was good either. It was just everything. So that's why
the first half of the episode is fucking stellar, dude.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a big fan of this one. And I don't know, it's not even the penultimate. We got a penultimate and a season finale coming up. Like holy shit.
And there's a lot that happens in those. Like we've got a lot to look forward to. But yeah, this concludes this episode of Winter is Blooming, and you bet your ass we'll be back for the penultimate episode of season 5 next week. And I am so very, very excited. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, and all sorts of comic book movie reviews, movie reviews, and the like. All that money goes into putting this podcast on, which is huge because it costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening, and to continue tuning in. You know, like I said, we got Winter is Blooming on Mondays, but right now, we are greatly anticipating Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese's newest film, and we are doing our director spotlight for him. As of yet, we've got 4 down, 2 to go in anticipation of Killers of the Flower Moon. And this week we'll bring a Shutter Island on Wednesday and The Irishman on Friday. And then next Wednesday we've got Killers of the Flower Moon. So I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah, just all sorts of shit to look forward to. And I'm so very, very happy. Yeah. Remember to stand in solidarity with SAG-AFTRA as they continue their struggle against the studios. The WGA's fight is concluded, but the actors is not. They deserve to be paid for their work. They deserve to own their likeness. I don't think it's that complicated. I don't see how it could be in the eyes of studios beyond their money-grubbing ugly asses. So, that's the bottom line. Yeah, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And oh, fuck!